Howdy folks, we're back for another SCP video, so this will be fun. I didn't have a poll for this one, so what I did was I just went to the last poll and decided, let's just go ahead and react to them in the order of most voted on. The last one was the Infinite IKEA, the next one that had the most votes is the Plague Doctor, so we're doing that next, or now I guess, so yeah, this should be fun. And it's a bit appropriate because I'm still a bit sick from, whatever I have, I don't know. It's that time of year, so it just works. And I like the Plague Doctor. While I didn't know too much about SCP going into it, I did know about the Plague Doctor because, well, just popular, yeah. Actually, I have my very own Plague Doctor mask, not gonna lie. It's just sitting in my closet, yeah. Anyways, I got nothing else for this intro, so we're gonna jump right into it. Let's go into that now, shall we?
Good afternoon,
hello,
everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be studying today
Plague Doctor
is SCP-49. Object Class, Euclid.
No.
Special Containment Procedures. SCP-49 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 2 at Site 19.
Makes sense, because from what I know, he's not like some what's the word? He's not some eldritch being, but then again, I could be proven wrong.
SCP-49 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it.
Alright, safe, makes sense. You know, take no chances.
During transport, SCP-49 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints,
Yeah, they ain't playing
monitored
around.
by no fewer than 2 armed guards. While SCP-49 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-49 during these outbursts.
Well, how are you gonna restrain him then? You just poke him with taser sticks then?
In the event SCP-49 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender, L. multifida, has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity.
Is that like some form of tranquilizer?
Once calmed, SCP-49 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance.
Alright.
In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-49, the entity is to be provided with a corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-49-2 are to be removed from SCP-49's containment cell and incinerated. SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects,
Probably a good idea.
and requests for human subjects are to be denied.
Alright.
Temporary Containment Procedure Update. See Addendum 49.3. Per Containment Committee Order 049.S19.17.1, SCP-49 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries.
Oh, so we're just cutting him off from everything at this point. Okay, so we just condemning this dude to death now, I guess?
This order shall persist indefinitely until such time a consensus regarding the ongoing containment of SCP-49 can be reached. Description: SCP-49 is a humanoid entity, roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor. While SCP-49 appears to be wearing thick robes, and the ceramic mask indicative of that profession, the garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-49's body over time.
Oh, so he's part of the Plague Doctor costume then, I guess, or suit, whatever, because it's not a costume, or whatever. You know what I mean?
And are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, SCP-49 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer.
Maybe it just became part of his body. Yeah.
SCP-49 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though it tends to prefer English or medieval French. While SCP-49
I feel like my friend Ozzy would have fun talking to this guy, and for none of the right reasons.
is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become easily irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-49.
That maybe that's a plague.
SCP-49 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-49 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-49 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of SCP-49's victims have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-49 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings, indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-49-2. SCP-49-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-49.
Ew. Oh, so we're making zombies now. Okay. I'm just imagining him just infiltrating the SCP Foundation because, like, what if he's already got a guy in there that's already a reanimated corpse and they just don't know? I'm just thinking of that. Hey, maybe.
These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little, and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by SCP-49. SCP-49-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, SCP-49 often remarks that the subjects have been cured.
Okay then.
Addendum 49.1 Discovery. SCP-49 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France.
And that explains the French.
During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-49-2 as well as SCP-49. While law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 49-2 instances, SCP-49 was noted as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 49-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-49 willingly entered Foundation custody.
Okay, so he's just like, I'm gonna come in.
The following interview was conducted by Dr. Raymond Ham during the initial investigation.
Oh boy.
Interviewer, Dr. Raymond Ham. Site 85. Interviewee, SCP-49. Playing log, now.
Alright then.
Alors, comment devrions-nous commencer une introduction?
Okay then.
Is that French? Can we get a translator? The King's English. No need for translation, sir. I can speak it well enough.
Alright then.
Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and I... a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt.
I don't think he's the same doctor as you, buddy. I think he works on something else. Yeah.
Wherein is your speciality, sir? Cryptobiology. Why? A medical man, such as myself.
Okay, maybe I was wrong.
Wonders abound. And here, I worried I had been abducted by common street thugs. This place, then, this is your laboratory. I had wondered, as clean as it is, and with such little trace of the pestilence here. The pestilence? What do you mean? The scourge. The great dying. Come now. You know the... what is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes. It abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see.
Okay.
The cure, to end all cures. When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague? I don't know what that is.
Alright, so... we got something else. And maybe it's real, and we just don't know it. Maybe we're all infected. Well, actually, no, that's not the case. Based on prior information, no.
Right, well, the entities our agents encountered at the house, they were dead when you encountered them, yes? You reanimated them. In a manner of speaking, you see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill. All of them.
Okay.
You think you cured those people? Indeed. My cure is most effective. But the things we recovered were not human. Yes, well, it is not a perfect cure,
How about
but
you?
that will come with time.
Okay, I was about to say, you better get to work on that then.
And further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more, if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There is work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded, and assistance, of course.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, you're not getting any of that.
Though I can provide those on my own. In time. I don't think our organization would be willing to. Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor.
No, he'll do that. It just won't be where you think it'll be, okay? Yeah.
Our work begins now.
Hour?
Interviewer's
Okay.
note. While SCP-49 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistake, there is something very uncanny about this entity, indeed.
I bet.
Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-49 keeps waving around.
Pointed stick.
Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 49 really is a menace, swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are admittedly more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea.
Alright.
Addendum 49.2 Observation Log. While in containment at Site-19, SCP-49 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it had been provided. SCP-49 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless
I
of...
don't know why it took me this long, but him being able to kill things just by touching them is why they have to, like... Why they're not allowed to make... Why they're not supposed to make contact with them. I don't know why that just now popped into my mind, but no.
Whether or not the corpse becomes an instance of SCP-49-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-49 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff. The following is a log of several occasions during which SCP-49 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Observational Log 49.0L.1 Summary. Subject SCP-49. Preface: a test subject, D-85-123, was introduced into SCP-49's containment
I'm just curious, did we just put a random number on this? I'm just curious, did we just do that, or does it actually mean something?
The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. Observation notes: SCP-49 began by asking D-85-123 several standard medical questions as it began removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-49 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-49 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing.
Okay.
The resulting 49-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-49 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal and remarking to the watching research staff about the efficacy of its cure. Security personnel...
Yeah, I think you need to work on this cure, like, a lot more before you start using it more. Because that seems pretty damn imperfect.
Through the chamber to move SCP-49 back to containment and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 49-2 instance, and SCP-49 returned to containment with no resistance, stating that it was pleased with the results.
Of course it was.
Observational Log 49.0L.2 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-49 expressed gratitude at the provision. Observation Notes: SCP-49 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-49-2. SCP-49 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted,
just turning the animal corpse into into a 49-2 just remind me of those weird mutations going on with some of them animals, like that one weird mutation going on with that deer and the bunny rabbit growing tentacles out of its face. That's what this reminds me of, honestly. Which, by the way, if you have not seen those images, seen what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor, don't look at the images. It's not a pretty sight. It's definitely not the worst thing, because, I'd still rather look at those than, the human centipede, but still. And, oh god, I just realized, imagine how this plague doctor would do if he was looked at something like that. Oh god. Yep. Nope. Been back in the video.
The disease was still in its nascent stage. My veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure. Observational Log 49.0L.3 Summary. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. SCP-49 expressed noted gratitude at the provision, due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology. Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times. However, SCP-49 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, SCP-49 turned the corpse over to Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I have learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research."
Okay.
Observational Log 49.0L.7 Full. Subject: SCP-49. Preface: SCP-49 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-49 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though it accepted it nonetheless.
What the hell is a bovine? Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Observation Notes: SCP-49 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-49 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark viscous fluid. SCP-49 described these fluids as essences of the humors, and elaborated by saying, "The pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humors in balance, or the body will reject the cure." Over the next few days, SCP-49 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-49 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod attached to an extension cord, and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs.
Of course.
And this is a follow-up interview to the previous observation logs. Playing log now.
We've watched you work for several weeks now, and honestly, I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Could you describe your process in detail?
Oh, goodness, no. The process is Most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journals, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work there.
And if we take a look-see then, maybe?
I see. Well, my concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort.
Yeah, that's something only he can see. Quotation marks around C. Maybe something's going on with his head.
You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good senses needed to root it out and destroy it. But many, like yourself, cannot. It is a cruel judgment, I fear, to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend.
That still doesn't answer my question. How's your cure any kind of cure at all?
Yeah.
It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for. Strict.
I think my VTUR model's current situation is better than that, yeah.
As it was with the pestilence, this creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise.
This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even...
Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you wait to remove rotten timbers until the whole collapses on top of you? No. You find them and you pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand.
Yes. Well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor.
A threat?
I am a professional, but even professionals may feel the bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece.
True.
I will forgive this as an act of good faith between colleagues.
I don't know if you guys would be considered colleagues, but sure.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, that will be all. Another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies.
Okay. Can we give him Harambe?
Attending researchers note, SCP-49 does seem to genuinely want to help other humans.
I mean, hey, if they still have Harambe's corpse, can we just hand it to him? I'm just asking, okay?
Oh, it has not yet been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from. I have watched it now for several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, SCP-49 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure.
Okay.
I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think.
Maybe.
Addendum 49.3 April 16th, 2017.
Look at the time. Look, maybe Harambe's corpse is still fresh for him to work on it. And look, they have all kinds of privileges and access and stuff. They can probably get their hands on it to give it to him. I don't know why I want him to do it, but maybe he'll find a good discovery from it. Okay.
Starting shortly after SCP-49's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and SCP-49-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which SCP-49 never exhibited any aggressive behaviors. On April 16, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering SCP-49's test chamber to to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol,
does he see the pestilence in Dr. Ham?
Dr. Ham reminded SCP-49 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him.
Well, goddamn. Did he see the pestilence in him?
Due to a lapse in security protocol and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which point SCP-49 had converted it into an instance of it.
And that answers my question.
SCP-49-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-49 was interviewed by Dr. Theron Sherman.
Okay.
Playing log, now.
I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment.
My actions do not need to be explained.
I beg to differ.
You killed Raymond Ham, and then butchered him until he...
Not dead. No, not
Excuse me?
dead. He is...
Okay.
He is cured.
Yeah, okay.
Cured? Cured of what?
The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is. I detected it before.
What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you...
You know what the thing is about this? This pestilence probably... I know I earlier said that this is probably, like, something that, like, only he could see. That's, you know, maybe, like, it's a mental disease or something. But, you know, maybe it is an actual thing that they just cannot see. But only he can. Maybe it is. Maybe. Possibly. Do I know that? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Who knows?
possibly
I
seen
sure don't.
in him today that you had not seen so many times before, that it would be worth his life?
The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared. And call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him.
Mercy, huh?
He is cured.
He is a vegetable.
I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again not to be men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen. Those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and been changed.
Your cure cost Ray his life.
No, good sir. I have saved it.
Have you?
You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring that I have created a miracle. And
What disease? What pestilence? He was a healthy man. He was a good doctor.
I'm offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir.
Oh.
You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is still so much to learn, so much
I've had
to
enough
do,
of this.
and others
Consider your allowances
can be saved.
revoked.
Even you.
Welcome to Containment,
You know,
049.
might be saved.
We're done here.
I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved him. I saved him. Dr. Ham.
Okay, see, now it feels like he's just having a mental breakdown where he's trying to convince himself that he's doing the good thing. Yeah. I'm starting to theory craft here, but I'm having trouble putting in the words. Yeah. My guess is that, like, you know, he is a plague doctor. Maybe there was, like, I don't know if it is the bubonic plague or something else that, like, maybe he tried to cure, but, like, failed at it, and has now been working hard to make one for that. But ended up doing this due to, like, some mental issues he developed, maybe. I don't know if I worded that whole thing right, but if I could, then maybe it'd be a bit more understandable, but that's just my guess, and that probably didn't make sense, because I don't word things right at times.
I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick.
Oh boy.
But I can save you. I can save all of you because I am the cure.
Okay then.
Addendum 49.4 Post-Incident Report Interview. The following interview is an excerpt from the April 16, 2017 49 Incident Report. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. Playing now.
SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make?
Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work.
I do not think that is happening.
I have spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it.
Have you experienced any
He's just
remorse
not having any
for your
of it.
actions for the death of Dr. Ham?
He's not having any of it. He's just like, nope, we're going into this.
Ah, yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable, but in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation.
Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview.
Mourn? Perhaps. I had not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward, I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I have gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease.
I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed.
Oh, Doctor. I wouldn't be so sure.
Oh?
Okay. I think that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you're all dismissed. Goodbye.
Alright, goodbye then. That was neat. Anything else?
Hi everyone.
Oh.
So before the Patreon thank yous, I would like to thank people that contributed to this video.
Right.
All of
But I was just skipping through the end of this, and I just like this one, and he rose again with a third. Yeah, my dirty mind, man. But knowing SCP so far, it ain't the third leg I'm thinking of. Anyways, that was the Plague Doctor. I liked it. I thought it was pretty neat. Yep, and I have some of my theories. I want him to experiment on Harabe's corpse. I think he's suffering with some mental issues. I could be wrong with that, and I know some of y'all are going to throw comments down, and I'll read them, so yeah, we'll see what goes on with there. And I guess we'll go into the video now. So if you enjoyed it, check out the original. It'll be linked in the description below. Go support Thevolgun for making this. They'll be linked down below as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.